I want to talk about your life a little bit and how you got to where you are right now, which is an all-star in the big leagues, which is incredible. But you grew up in Venezuela and exactly where Miggy did, as you just mentioned. And how did you fall in love with the game of baseball, being a little kid from Venezuela?
I think all started when I started seeing my cousin, my older cousin, when I was 3 years old, and since then it's been like a complete love for the sport. And for me, it's a little sometimes surreal because for me, seeing that this is my job, but this is something that I also used to do and play on PlayStation. So it's kind of like surreal to realize that. And even though sometimes you get caught up into this is a job you do every day, it's really cool to realize at times that this is what I do for a living, and this is my profession right now.
And in 2015, you signed to be a professional baseball player around 16 years old. What was that like for you, signing to become a pro athlete, leaving your home, leaving your family, your friends, and going to an entirely new country at such a young age?
In reality, it was very difficult. It was the first time I was ever away from my family for a considerable period of time. But that passion for the game was actually what helped me go through that process, and especially the support of my family. My family reminded me that all the sacrifices will be worth it at some point, and it was worth it to do it because of baseball, because that's my passion, the career I chose. So I think at the end it worked out, but it was definitely a tough time and a big learning experience for me.
So it's a tough transition for you personally, but professionally as well in baseball. You're so young when you come over and you're playing pro baseball, and it went so well for you at a young age. You excelled in the minor leagues. You're in the futures game at 19 years old. Was there a tough transition for you in a baseball sense, or did it just come naturally to you to pick it up and keep playing?
Oh, yeah, I would say I have a couple tough moments through the minor leagues. I think my second year, first time here in USA, I think I have a lot of struggling there. And I would say last year here, and yeah, but every day is a process, every day you try to learn something. And I think every day is a new challenge. So that's how I took the baseball life.
What wasn't a challenge for you was in 2020 when you became a Major League Baseball player for the first time. You find out you're going to be a big leaguer. Take me through the moment you found out you were a Major League Baseball player.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with 2020, with all the challenges with the pandemic, it was difficult. I didn't know where it's going to go. I ended up going to the alternate side 2.0 with the Mets, and keep working there. And then July 22nd at 7 p.m., Luis Rojas, the manager at the time for the Mets, called me over to give me the news. But I was a little bit in shock. I called him back to make sure I was getting the right information. I wasn't sure that he was actually calling me up. So that day was a lot of emotions, a lot of crying, and talking to my family. But just trying to get it all together to be ready for the next day and focus on the game. Unfortunately, my family wasn't able to be there because of the limitations due to the pandemic. But yeah, the next day arrived, and I was decided to just have that dream come true.
That's so awesome. And that offseason, you play that year with the Mets. That offseason, at 21 years old, you're traded. You're part of the Francisco Lindor trade. Lindor to the Mets, you and some others off to Cleveland. What was that like for you, 21 years old, to find out the only organization you had ever known to that point traded you to Cleveland and you were going to be off in a big transition for you?
I mean, I can deny it was very difficult, especially for all the unknowns. That's the only organization you know in your whole life. That's why you learn how to play baseball professionally. So it was hard to know, and seeing that you're going to a different organization, especially for all the unknowns, not knowing what to expect was going to be like. But most importantly, as soon as I arrived to this organization, I feel they well received and feel really welcome the whole time to the organization. I couldn't be more thankful for the way how they have welcomed me with open arms, and I'm very thankful to the organization in the city, and I'm looking forward to do my best for this organization.
Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.